General Malice.
Oh,
You okay?
where's my suitcase? My suitcase. Find it. Don't get too excited, folks. Or you leave your most important. What the $10,000.
Hey everybody, General Malice here. And today, we're going to be going over our Game on Expo walkthrough with Artist Alley people. And so hopefully you get to see some really cool interviews with a bunch of great artists. But we're going to start it off with my interview with Retro Rick. I've been waiting to show this interview for a while, and I'm super excited to bring it to you. So hopefully, if you like this type of content, hit that like, subscribe, follow button, keep up everything going with the Malices. So, let's go ahead and finish off our series for Game on Expo with the Artist Alley interviews, starting with Retro Rick. Here we go.
So everybody, I'm here with Retro Rick.
What's up, guys?
Famous YouTuber, awesome collector of video games and teacher of the masterful ways of finding a good
The
deal.
flip, you have to. Nowadays, it's so expensive, man.
Super crazy. So,
Yeah.
someone from coming up and watching your content and enjoying it thoroughly, which I've documented quite a bit before. First and foremost, what's it like to hear someone like my story come at you the way I did yesterday?
Humbling, super encouraging. Because at the end of the day, the games are cool, all of it's cool, but I think kind of imparting knowledge to more people is the same thing that helped me get started. Like, I got started from a guy named CJR, watched him a lot, and it helped me, kind of educated myself in doing it, and then getting to pass it on. And I know now you pass it on to other people, and you just keep doing it, and it just grows the community, man. It's so encouraging, really, more than anything.
Well, what's super cool about your community growing and getting ever larger day by day, your old life starts to slip away and your new life starts to come anew.
Yes.
I know growing with, what you used to do for work and how it's come to its fruition now, where do you see yourself moving forward with the Retro Rick brand and keeping yourself in line with your morals and your ability to keep your family in tune with your career?
It's more than anything, I'm just kind of rolling with it. Like the whole Whatnot thing, we're huge, proponents of Whatnot. I love it. I never saw Whatnot coming at me, and now it's here, and now I'm doing it, and it's becoming a huge part of the channel. So I don't know what the future holds. Maybe another thing comes up, and it's just, if it can fit and align with the visions and the values that I have with the channel, and it makes sense, I would be down. But right now, I'm just along for the ride, man. And I've got a good work-life balance now with riff editing and things like that, where I can definitely still focus on my family, but still do the YouTube stuff too. So yeah, man, I'm just gonna keep rocking and rolling.
That's super awesome. I know when it comes to family and me doing YouTube as well, I've incorporated my family heavily into my streamings. My mother, my daughter, and my son-in-law here today, and then my wife and everybody in between. Have you ever thought about incorporating more of your family? You've already started? And as your son grows, get him more engaged within the content itself too.
I am a little bit. I'm always a little hesitant because it's one thing if you say, the trolls come out, and it's, of course, they're going to come out. I don't care. You can say anything about me. Start out with my family, my kids, my wife. That's where it gets a little harder. So, I'm pretty careful, but I do have a second channel now with my son that I'm doing more stuff with him. So, little by little.
So I'm glad you talked about that security with your family and the content moving forward. Me as a streamer, not even a very big streamer, I actually got doxxed last week, where I actually had, during a stream, police officers come out to my house to do a welfare check on 2 8-year-old kids that someone had called in about and had doxxed my house. So what do you do to help prevent and keep yourself safe in this cyberspace that is you're putting yourself out into?
Yeah, I think it's hard. You just get to be the most careful you can. I mean, I know for me, I don't I don't really say my name. I mean, people know me as Rick, but that's really it. A lot of people use different names. So if you're out there and you're thinking about doing this, why not go by a different name? It doesn't really matter if it's a whole separate thing. So, dude, I don't know. It's a great question. You just try to stay and remain as safe as possible. I don't have my family in the limelight a lot, you know. My wife goes to like one convention with me a year, but it's tough. It's tough nowadays. Yeah, for sure.
Okay, last one. Best one is this. So, I see you doing great grand things. That 1 million subscriber spot's coming up pretty soon. I know it's working the way there. What do you feel like you want to take yourself into the future so that one, you can continue to teach, two, be a mentor to more people like myself, but keep yourself in a position to where you're still humbled for what you're doing?
Yeah, well, I genuinely hope I can always stay humble. I mean, it's for me, dude. This is just fun. Hanging out, getting to meet you and hang out and talk more and learn people's stories. That's what it's all about. I hope and pray that never happens, and I'm never tempted by that, because at the end of the day, it's just stupid video games, and we're hanging out and we're with a bunch of nerds. So I think, to answer your question, probably coming to more of these is what I've been able to connect with a lot of other people today. I got to connect with the Completionist. He's a huge YouTuber. And he was like, hey, we should do something together. So it's like those types of things that I feel like the channel could basically continue to grow is by just the networking within the community. So,
Dude, thank you very much for your time. You're an awesome inspiration. And dude, to many, many more years of success.
Oh, you too, bro.
Sure. So I will actually show you over here, because this will be a really good indication of what she does. She is the artist. Her name is Caitlyn Kaiser. She goes by Caitlyn Kaiser Art. You can find her on Instagram. So at Kate Kaiser Art on Instagram is where you can find her. She is she's a deaf artist. Has been working Game On convention since 2019. And everything is hand drawn. As you can see here, she's working on a ukulele piece that uses watercolor backgrounds and color pencil for some of the finer details. But yeah, we really love this convention. We're glad to see it back after so long.
Yeah, 3-year hiatus. So the first back in 3 years is awesome. So, what are some of the things that you find that is great from your fans here at the convention of your art?
She really just loves the opportunity of showing off her art and being able to show people the entire process from start to finish of how she makes everything. You know, from the originals to the prints that we have here. It's really just a great opportunity to connect with fans of other games that we like.
So I have a couple questions I always like to ask the artists.
Yeah.
When was the first time someone offered to buy your art?
She was in high school, maybe 16 years old. She's been drawing since she was 10, and then went to eventually MCC and ASU for a fine arts degree. So she's been doing this for a long time. The convention scene we're still a little bit newer to. But yeah, she sold landscapes, a ton of different, like, she does pet portraits, things like that. So she's been in that business for a while. She does, yeah.
So,
yes, of course.
Being offered, a price for your art at such a young age, did it inspire you to go super hard into the craft, or were you already that committed?
Alright, awesome.
I had to do it while it's gone.
Oh, awesome. Alright, drop that there. Alright, no problem.
She thinks that she was just meant to be an artist since she was 10. And everything just, it happened like a snap of fingers ever since then, yeah.
Awesome. So a lot of the content we like to ask the different artists is, so what are some of the barriers and successes you had in your journey?
She says that, sometimes without me here, people don't know signs, so it can be difficult for her to communicate with other people, being able to explain what she does, how she does it, how she creates her pieces. As far as just being a deaf artist in general can be challenging. But she thinks it's just really worth it when she gets to talk to people about her art too, and about video games, of course.
That's super awesome. Well, I appreciate the time that y'all took to sit here and talk with us. Tell us a little bit about how you came up with the ideas to do this. Was it your children that inspired you to give them something cool? You know, stuff like that. Like, what made you want to create?
So basically, it was kind of just bringing something different and creative to the table. You know, we would go to different spots and they would never really have personalized items, so I just wanted to be able to bring that to the table. So I'm really a big fan of anime, so I watch a lot of different types of animes, and there's certain characters that just speak to me and that I can relate to, even though they're, you know, not real. And they kind of just, I go based off of that, what really flows, what really brings out the character, and what would make them pop, you know?
So with these awesome backgrounds and designs, and definitely a lot of the different sparkles and glamour that you have here, do you find that you're able to facilitate every facet of the realm of the cups? Like, you can hit all aspects of the people that walk by? Or do you find that sometimes you have a cup that sits there because you just didn't pick the right genre that time?
I do think so. That I don't think that all of my cups speak with certain people. There's times where I'm just like, man, I should have gotten with it different. And then, you know, it's always nice to hear or speak with different types of people who give us different like ideas, or be like, oh, this could have been better if you had chosen this. So it's really nice to hear all that. And sometimes I do struggle to kind of just make that cup pop or make it connect with something.
Are all these cups one of ones, or are they a variant of the same one?
They're all different, even though they might be the same design. They're all different because they're hydro dip. When you hydro dip something, you don't always get the exact same design. Okay. Or when that glitter, I feel like sometimes the glitter just doesn't sit right on, or not the same on a certain cup. They vary. I think they all vary. I think they're all individualized, and they're just all one of a kind. Like this cup. These two cups are similar, the similar design, but I feel like the colors, the ray, or the way the flow is, it's different. Can you tell the difference in it?
Definitely can.
Like this one has the green more popping up here or down here. It's just, the colors just are different, even though they're the same design.
As your first time and being new to the convention or having this type of business, what were some of the barriers that you had, and what are some of the successes that you've had that you really enjoy now?
So my barriers, of course, are is communicating. I'm very shy and introvert, so being able to, or having to come out of my shell and interact with different people is always hard. It's like really nerve-wracking. I want to cry, and then like it's always nice when people really like my cups or they like compliment them, and it's just it's like a success in itself. Like I don't have to sell a cup, but just being able to just know that someone likes it and appreciate it, it's always nice. It's always nice.
I see that you're all for, nope, you're one for all customs, and your information's right here, but do you have a website or anywhere else that people can go to check out your product?
Unfortunately, I don't. It's only on Instagram.
Well, it's still a great place to make a purchase, so thank you very much for your time today. One for all customs.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
Well, actually, this is my daughter's. She just stepped out, so I'm just a body to help.
Well, let me ask you
I don't know
this.
all the particulars.
How about this? That's the best part. I don't need the particulars. How about this? Tell me a little bit about your daughter and how awesome of an artist she is, and how long she's been doing art.
Well, she's been doing these t-shirts about year and a half.
Okay.
She's all into anime and all the things Japanese and stuff.
Very nice. So basically having some super awesome screen printing shirts, the ideas must come from her inspiration of what she watches.
Of course.
And
there's
so,
2 million anime shows. There's so many characters, I don't even have 1/10 of 1%.
So what do you find gravitates the most to the shirts y'all make? Is it the awesome like banner displays, like the old school posters?
No, I think it's the people that are watching the shows.
Okay.
Their familiarity with the shows draws them. Because when some shows are on, we'll sell those. And when they're not on, those will go a little quiet till the show comes back. Because apparently, and I'm not sure, I've never watched one, they're circular. Like sitcoms every 3, 6 months, 9 months, whatever. So they sell because of what happens to be on the show. And of course, people have their favorites.
That's true.
Now me, I don't know most of the names. Like I said, I only just come and feel for her when she needs a hand.
I understand. Well, being awesome family business, because you're helping out your family, what do you tend to find some of the struggles are that your daughter might come across or express to you when running the booths?
Well, there's a lot of good stuff and a lot of bad stuff. The good stuff, of course, is when you go to a show and there's nobody to sell to. So you have expenses that you can't meet. So that's the bad part. But that's the bad part in any business.
That's cool.
So you take the good with the bad.
All right, well, so what are some of the awesome successes that your daughter's had doing this past year and a half?
Well, we did really well in the show in California called Frankincense. Oh my God, we did we had a line almost the whole night, 4, 5, 6 people deep. So we sold a lot of them. We sold a lot of them that day. But shows like that are probably once in a year.
Okay. So all the other shows kind of more of a grinding process.
Yeah, absolutely. So she goes all over. She goes to Orange County, LA County. Here we are in Phoenix. So, you go where the shows are and you never know what's going to happen.
Okay. In your experience, what's the shirt you sold the most helping your daughter out?
I don't have it out today.
Because you didn't want to sell it anymore. I get it.
Well, because it's graphic. So that's the one that sells the most. And in fact...
Can I see it behind the thing?
It's put away. But that's the one that sells the more. It's called Toga.
Okay.
Toga.
Who's the picture of?
Toga.
Okay. Oh, Toga. Okay.
Yeah.
Well.
And she's giving you the number one.
Okay. I get you.
That's the number one seller.
Awesome. Well.
But sometimes in some of these shows where there's a lot of children, we don't take it out.
I get you. Makes sense.
All our shirts are for adults. We don't sell for children.
Well, I appreciate you.
So my name is Andrew Smith. I go by Craft Happy online, and I like to do 3D printing. I've got 7 3D printers. No place to eat dinner, but place to make stuff. So these are some of the things that I have left for the convention here. I sold out of all my dragons that I had brought already. I like to support the awesome designers who make those great models, and I have fun selling them.
So what got you into 3D printing? Was it COVID and boredom, or did you printing before COVID?
Before, so I've been doing it for about 3 years, and I wanted to make cool props for myself, so a lot of swords from Lord of the Rings, weapons from Marvel movies, things like that. And then I'm like, well, I gotta help support this hobby because it gets expensive, so now I need to sell some stuff.
Okay, here's a quick fire question. Do you use Anycubic, Ender, or Prussia?
So I have 7 machines, so I've got 4 Anycubic machines and 1 Creality machine.
Okay, very nice, very nice. Okay, so you said your dragons were your number one seller. They're already sold out. I see you have dice tray with dice holders and some nice dice towers. Tell us a little bit about some of this intricate stuff down here that looks very, very awesome.
So these are some fun printed place models created by Cinderwing 3D. She's a great designer. And all these print in one piece. And these are the cute little rose turtles. And I had to paint little cute eyes to make them even more adorable.
That's super awesome.
These are some fidgety foxtail keychains. Little fun fidget. Makes a nice zipper pull for backpacks as well.
That's very cool. And then tell us about your dice towers and your dice tray holder.
So these are some files I found online. The creators I've got listed here. So those are the creators for those, to give them their credit. And so these are some magnets that I put in there, so they hold them in place. And you can transport your dice safely. And whenever you want to roll your dice, you can toss them down the tower.
That is so cool. Multiple steps, all the way in, design, in and out. That's the best part about 3D printing. It's such a great thing when you have awesome designers like that. So, any last things you want to go off with for Craft Happy?
We have a dice here.
Oh, let's do it. Woo! That was super.
We only rolled a 5 though.
Oh, it's not
We're
good.
not gonna win this one.
No, we're not going to win this one. Well, I appreciate your time, Andrew. Tell us one last thing. What are some of your successes and some of your barriers you're still having to overcome today?
The time it takes to 3D print stuff. I've been prepping for this show for about 3 months, and I've got another show in 4 weeks. Going to be at Tucson Comic Con. So after today, I'm going to be rocking and rolling busy.
Well, thank you very much for your time, and I appreciate it.
Hi guys, I'm Katie, aka Geek Me Up Scotty. So I do everything from dice creation to dice accessories. So my friend Ashley is Dragon Sack, so she also does all of this with me. So we do handmade dice. So handmade dice that are then cast out of resin, then we polish them, sand them, finish them, ink them, the whole spiel there. So it's a labor of time, but a labor of love. We love doing it. So then we got our Chonky Boys as well, which are our large dice. So we have all sorts of stuff there. Then Ashley over here, she also sells Dragon Sacks, hence the name. So those are dice bags with dice scales on them. And then upcycled cigar boxes for dice boxes. Then we got all the accessories. So I make any kind of jewelry, accoutrement you can think of. So I do, you know, keychains, bookmarks, necklaces, earrings, you name it, I do it. So
that's pretty awesome. Acrylic work all the way to re-upping and recycling items.
Yes.
So that's really a good way to get yourself a lot of materials to create your craft. What was some of the ideas that were in the inception of the business that kind of got you to where you're at today? Like, what were some of the things you were kicking around? Was it, I don't like the way these dice look that I'm buying from my local game store? Is it, I could do better with fluid inside? Like, what were some of the thought processes behind it?
Well, what happened, what eventually got us into dice making is I'm in a D&D group and I really like all the girls that I play with. We're an all-girl group. So I started making jewelry for them. So I started drilling into dice. And then we started talking about dice making because we saw cute videos and we were like, okay, we can totally do this and create anything that we specifically want because there were still very, very limited options at the time. And so now it's, you know, getting into doing the liquid quartz and the ones with the liquid inside, doing different techniques and all of that kind of stuff. It's a ton of fun to do. So it's just, it's creativity that we get to share with people, which is so fun. But yeah, so it was definitely a long startup process though.
Okay. Well, you said something that piqued my interest, and I'm going to sidebar for a second.
Yeah.
You have a D&D group. Do y'all still currently meet each other, or are y'all on the, we're on a break right now?
No, we actually live stream. So we are called Crit Chicks. We are at Southwest Gaming Society. So we stream every Wednesday night on Twitch from 7 to 10 p.m. Arizona time, which is Mountain Standard. We don't do daylight because we're fun. So yeah, but we have. But yeah, no, we play every Wednesday. We've been on a little bit of a break just because one of our players is in a play right now. So she's doing rehearsals on Wednesday nights, then the play is happening, and then we'll be back on to streaming. So we're just on a little bit of a break at the moment. But yeah, no, we play every Wednesday. He is actually our GM. And then the other girl that I craft with is another one of our players.
Well, let's go ahead. I like to end with one last question as I talk about the stuff. We'll pan real quick to show the audience. Go ahead and tell us some of your successes and your barriers that you're still having to this day while you're doing your business.
So barriers are just, it's a high failure rate craft. So we do end up with a lot of failures still. So that's a barrier. But it's also like one of the best things is opening up a mold and seeing what you got out of your dice, because it's like Christmas morning. It's like seeing what did I get, what, you know, what turned out, what didn't, what do they look like, because some techniques you have no idea how they're going to turn out. So it's just great. So we're getting to explore with new techniques all the time, which is a lot of fun, but yeah, high failure rate. So yeah, pros and cons to both of the same side. So yeah.
Understandable. Any advice for people that might want to be getting into their own business, not necessarily your craft, but their own business?
Yeah. Own business is network as much as you can. Get yourself out on socials. Get yourself out on, you know, Instagram and Twitter and things like that. But network at your local community events like this. So yeah, we have met just amazing people here. We've met like tons of great vendors, and we look forward to seeing them at like Tucson Comic-Con. We've seen people from Phoenix Fan Fusion that we recognize and things like that. So it's just great to get to know your local community as well.
The DM. How many porcels have you destroyed in your campaigning?
Mainly just one, and it's my wife.
Oh, that's so cruel. Well, thank you very much for y'all's time.
Thank you.
And then, is this still independent of this? So,
Nope, still together.
okay, well then let me get the footage of it as well. So there's the one that takes the blunt of the DM's pain. It was a natural one. I saw a 20. It was a 1. Super awesome.
I was on 20 big tree. My circle was in the middle.
Oh, wait a second. It's the. Wait, that's 3D printed?
Where am I?
Why are you?
Oh, it's like it's been modded. I was like, that's a mod. I knew that.
Yeah.
I was like, okay. I was like, mine doesn't look like that. And not at all. But I saw the 3D print. I was like, oh, it's got a mod.
Actually added a HDMI port. So,
That's cool. Is it a hardware chip or is it actual soft mod? Like, I mean, did you have to add a chip with it?
Yeah. So it's a full kit. It's actually designed by the guy. I don't know if you know the analog products, like the Super NT.
Yeah.
So the guy that basically designed all of those, he designed the chip that goes in here to do the HDMI converter.
That's cool. Yeah. See, I have a pocket analog and a GB operator, but I haven't opened them yet.
Oh, yeah.
I opened the GB operator when it first came out, and I did a review on it, and then it crapped out on me.
Really?
And it took them 3 months to replace it for me.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, once they replaced it, I was like, I'm not gonna open it again.
Yeah.
Because I had got something else that can rip my ROMs.
Yeah.
I still like it.
It's nice. Yeah, the software interface is nice. It's just.
But it made me scared to open up my pocket operator. I was like, I don't know if I want to open this one. The analog's whatever. So
Yeah.
it's just sitting there. But that's pretty cool. I saw it. I was like, everybody's looking at it. I was like,
What?
something's not right.
Yeah.
Tell us about yourself, how we can find you online, and stuff like that.
Oh, this is perfect. All right. So we're Baxter's Game Store, and are you on like TikTok or YouTube or what?
Bunch of stuff, yes sir.
Bunch of stuff. So our TikToks, Baxter's Pokemon, Baxter's Yu-Gi-Oh, Baxter's Magic, and Baxter's Warhammer. And we're the Warhammer people in D&D. We have dice, so we have gemstone dice right here. Very nice. We have amethyst, really cool stones. We also had, our big seller was mystery bags here.
Okay.
So we have the Pokemon, the Yu-Gi-Oh, and the Magic mystery bags. We have statues for anime, and then here was our card games, right? So we got Pokemon, we have Weiss Schwartz, Yu-Gi-Oh, Magic, the Mystery Convention Edition. So only for conventions. That one's exclusive. Cool stuff. Slifer, this one has been a big seller here. Signed Pikachu from the singer of the Pokemon theme song, Jason Page. And yeah, we're in Queen Creek, Arizona.
Awesome. So local to the area. How many conventions do y'all do a year? Do y'all travel?
We do about 3 conventions a year.
Local to Arizona?
Local, sometimes California. We go over there.
Awesome. So you intrigued me by saying real rock mineral dice, right?
Yes.
So talk about that. I'm an amethyst myself. That's my birthstone. Tell us a little about.
Oh, amethyst is I'll get that one out too.
That's cool. But tell us about this and how y'all got into making these awesome.
So I don't know if you see this one. You see how the light kind of passes through it?
Oh yeah, you do.
Like,
it's given hues that are very beautiful on camera.
And then yours is, which one's the amethyst?
Right in the middle.
This one?
Yep.
This one's your birthstone.
Yes, sir.
Should pick this one up.
Very nice.
How we got into the dice is just D&D really took off during the pandemic. People staying at home and watching YouTube with the famous actors, Van Diesel and Critical Role doing a bunch of D&D. So a lot of people were coming to the store to buy dice sets. I got hooked up with a company called Critical Hit who makes these gemstone dice. And they're $100, but they
dice.
sell.
Gemstone.
Yeah.
So, how did y'all get into the? Okay, so COVID and everything got y'all into the idea. What made y'all start realizing you had something here and you wanted to grow with it, with the different items that you offer?
Okay, so I opened my store up 7 years ago, and I always wanted to do all gaming, right? Because you as a person, you could be into anything. And I wanted to make sure when you came into my store that I could supply you with something that you liked and be able to talk to you about something, no matter what it was in the gaming industry. So that's why D&D, Magic, Yu-Gi-Oh, Pokemon, anime, board games, you know, anything gaming related we do.
So do you feel that's something that's starting to like be less prevalent with online sales and people able to go where they want, that you don't have this jack of all trades?
Yeah, so the one big thing that we do that's different from online is our information and our experience. You come into the store or watch our TikToks, we give you fact information, we give you, how do you tell bootleg dice, you know, bootleg gemstone going for 100 from the actual real deal, even with cards. Cards is a big deal, Pokemon cards, how can you tell the fakes out? So we give you that information, we teach you how to play, where online vendors, they don't do that for you.
Oh, wonderful. So we go by Rimi Plushies. We're kind of a cool group where we like to make big life-size plushies. That's typically our go-to. So this one, being a newer one, Luna from Hell of a Boss, is a big recent piece we did. We're over there, extremely new that we did. Kind of started to get this anime base down that we're trying to make some plushie stuff in the future, but we just like to really make giant fan plushies. It's really our thing.
That's pretty cool. It drawn me to it because my wife made me a custom Silent Hill plushie for me for my birthday last year, and I look at it every day. So having something that you create on a daily basis, what does it make you feel like when you know that someone's enjoying your product in their home setting?
It's really great, especially when people walk around with it. There's this feeling of like this accomplishment. You know, I know he loves this too, like so much. He loves seeing people just tote him around, getting to actually enjoy him. Plus, there's a lot of props that come with it too, like the booster hat that comes off. People will just get the hat and just wear it around. So it's, I don't know, it feels like we're contributing to a fan base in a way and just kind of having fun with it at the same time.
Okay, so let me ask you this. As a new startup, or when your business was starting up, what were some of the barriers and successes that you had to where you're at now?
I mean, he was the one that really started it all. He's like the true founder of it and the big boss. So I don't know, what were some of the hardest things?
I don't know, for me it's like not much of a challenge to me though.
Dude.
Yeah.
I don't know, I guess sort of starting this all, there was a lot of people that weren't really doing big plushies, and we started off doing Pony, and Pony was just really like popular, really cool, and just really welcoming. So I guess we've just been kind of blessed with a lot of really good customers and people that have just come by and support us.
Okay, so coming into the larger plushies, you know, is there a lot of picking or design thought that goes into what characters you want to invest in and what might make sense for your company?
It's kind of a mix. Like, there's so many series that we both like, and like he definitely has like a lot of favorites that he tries to get to as soon as possible to prototype. But there's also commissions we get in because we take in custom work, and like if we think that pattern's cool and other people might like it, we'll make it for more people to have on order on Etsy and stuff. So it kind of just becomes this like hybrid of there's some stuff that we think would sell or do really well, and then other stuff that people come to us with, and then stuff that's like, oh, we really like Genshin, or oh, we really like Azure Lane, so we're just gonna make stuff like that. So.
Well, that's awesome to hear that you do custom stuff. I can only imagine having myself a 5-foot pyramid head or maybe a sexy nurse to lay down with at night and keep me warm. What are some of the things in the future that you have for your business moving forward? What like a 5-year plan?
What do you want to do more?
Probably starting my own IP.
Okay.
Yeah. Try to, or maybe get some official licensing.
Official licensing would be super awesome.
Yeah.
Well, have you even tried to reach out to anybody and see if it's something you could do? And what are some of the cost barriers associated with that?
It's kind of costly.
Kind of costly?
I cannot disclose that kind of information here.
NDA, I totally understand. Not a problem. I didn't even know you had stuff in the works already, so that's good to know. That means you're already on top of it.
Yeah.
So,
if there's any plush you like here, or some that we've made in the past, some past patterns that aren't here right now because we haven't had the chance to make them, we do made to order. So if you'd like anything that's on our site, we make to order it, and we try to get it to you as soon as possible.
Any last words you want to leave off with for people who might be just wanting to start their own business, not necessarily this, but their own business?
I guess just really stick through it. As someone that's been an artist for a long time too, we kind of started collaborating on this like a bit, like a few years into him doing it. It's tough at times, you know, you just want to kind of give up, or sometimes something doesn't sell well or doesn't work. We've had plushies that have been complete flops, or plushies that have just kind of not really been taken as well as we thought. But And then we get some that people really like. So it's all about just trial and error and just doing your best where you can, you know? Just know that someone out there will appreciate your hard work, I guess. That's where it comes to.
That's
Well,
very awesome.
My say to it will be try to make your hobby or what you like into a business. That will make things way much more easier. You won't, like I said previously, if you do something that you like as a business, sometimes you just don't feel any obstacle on it.
Hello, I'm Corey Hobson. This is Morgana 4. What we have here are video game string art.
It's based off a lot of the
Based off of a
childhood games
lot
that we
of
got
like the
in the
80s and 90s nostalgic video games.
We started, I was going to say, we started our own company called Wallknots, so we're located on Etsy, but we do a lot of custom pieces as well, so.
So, what got you the idea to start doing the nail art? And was it something that inspired you saw, or something that you said, I think I could do that better?
So there's kind of an interesting story behind that. So I've always been the gamer, been collecting for 35 years.
Okay.
And then she's always been the crafty one, like in craft. So we went to a couple craft shows and we seen this string art. And I always did these conventions, buying, selling games. I said, well, let's just combine the two, see how it goes.
Yeah.
That is
And
awesome.
Every show that we've been to, it's been a hit. Everybody says they've never seen anything like it. So
It's my first time seeing. I go to conventions all across the United States.
Trying to bring something new into the genre. So
And we're from Columbus, Ohio, so this is our first time out this far. Usually we're like on the eastern side, but this time we decided to load up a couple suitcases and come out this way, and everybody said this was a great show, so.
What are some of your favorite pieces, top seller, and the one that you hate making?
that should be an easy one to answer. Give me 1 second.
Sure.
I know my favorite personally to make is the fire flower. I just like it because it's
multicolor,
nostalgic to me from my childhood.
I didn't know what my favorite one was. I had to think about it.
What's that?
My favorite one would probably be the Donkey Kong barrel. And if you want a little backstory behind that, it's a funny story. Yeah. So the funny story behind that, we always had these little Donkey Kongs that we would sell.
Okay.
And we do this stuff out of our garage. And one day, her dad was helping us out in the garage and accidentally started a house fire. And it burnt a whole bunch of our wood, and half of the wood was burnt. So we were just trying to think of an idea to come up with how we could salvage it.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, let's cut it into a barrel and make a Donkey Kong barrel. And that's been probably one of our best sellers.
Yeah.
That's super cool. Okay, so something I like to ask the business owners is, tell us some of your greatest successes and some barriers that you still have on a day-to-day basis with your business.
It's just, I think the toughest part on the day-to-day is just, we both have full-time jobs, and these take a lot of work to get them going. So I think it's just the time and effort spent in the process to get them going. But I think some of our successes is we've done some of the larger gamer YouTube video logos. We've also just got done completing a 3-foot by 3-foot for a local store back home that just opened up. So we've had a lot of nice people we work with, done a lot of commission pieces. So that's been some of the success.